A friend of mine put a copy of Vincent Bugliosi's book in my hands, The Prosecution of George W. Bush for Murder. And there's a section in the book that says that any district attorney or any attorney general can prosecute Bush. And I thought, I'm running for attorney general. I'd already decided to run before she even gave me the book. And I was considering what the issues were going to be. And then when I read that any attorney general could do this, I thought, well, I'm not an attorney general yet, but I could make it part of my campaign. I was able to meet Vincent, and we just hit it off. And then he started explaining what was both the evidence for why he believed that, without a shadow of a doubt, he could prove that Bush had taken us to war on false pretenses, and that he could also prove the argument of murder. A lot of people think that you can't go after a president at all, that the president has immunity. The president has immunity while he's in office. But when he's outside of office, he's like you or me. He's just a regular citizen. I looked through the book, looking at both the evidence and then the legal framework for prosecuting Bush. The legal framework was challenging, to say the least, because George W. Bush hadn't even set foot in Vermont, and I knew that there would be people asking, how is it possible to prosecute him when he didn't pull the trigger? And, of course, many people wanted to know why Bush would be actually indicted for murder if he didn't step in to Vermont and probably didn't intend to kill soldiers when he sent them off to war. This is something that I wanted to explore more with Vincent Bugliosi before I decided to take this up. He had said that journalists had established the evidence of the crime. They had written a great deal about the taking troops to war on false pretenses, and yet they would write their stories and move on to the next story, and this troubled him. He thought somehow somebody should stand up and take a stand. So Vincent was able to change his schedule and come up to Vermont and be with me when I had a press conference announcing that I was going to run for Attorney General. I made my announcement, and I said, I have a special guest here, Vincent Bugliosi, and although this is not the only subject that I'm going to run on, the prosecution of George W. Bush will be one of the issues that I will be addressing, and should I succeed, I intend to appoint Vincent Bugliosi as my special prosecutor. The elections happened. I got the news that I had lost. I was disappointed, obviously, but it was the same night that Obama won the election, and I was glad about that. By February, a poll had been done, a Gallup poll, that showed that over 2/3 of the respondents wanted some kind of criminal investigation. What I ended up doing is deciding to write a book at this point. And so really the whole second half of the book is my chronicling how the Obama administration is going to deal with the crimes of the Bush administration. If we do not hold the people in the Bush administration accountable for the crimes that they committed in office, it will continue. We have now turned a corner, and we are saying no more age of impunity. We want our government officials to respect the rule of law.